In this lesson, we're going to talk about order of operations: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. This is similar to the lesson before, but we're going to be adding a little bit more complexity. So we're still going to use PEMDAS because that's how we simplify expressions mathematically. So if you recall, PEMDAS was parentheses. We're going to do the stuff in parentheses first, then we're going to do those exponents. We're not going to usually encounter exponents in this one. And then we're going to multiply and divide. That one again, simultaneously, left to right. So this is going to be one of the bigger developments for today. We're going to add in the multiplying and dividing simultaneously, left to right. So as we're going through the expression, we're going to look for multiplication and division and do those as we go left to right through the expression. Then lastly, we're going to add and subtract. And again, this is another one that's simultaneously left to right. So just like before, simultaneously as we're reading through the expression, we're going to be solving it piece by piece as we go left to right. So I'm not going to write out the "please excuse my dear Aunt Sally" again, but you can use that if you want to. Similar to the last lesson. So I'm going to just scroll down a little bit so that we can see example 1 and practice 1. And I'm going to write PEMDAS up above it again. If this is something that you do in your mind, you don't need to write the expression down, but you do need to make sure that you solve the questions in this order. So parentheses, I look for parentheses, we don't have any. Exponents, we don't have any either. So now I'm going to multiply and divide as we go left to right. So 5 plus, our first thing, is addition. So we're not there yet, but we have 8 divided by 2. So now I've got to do this division. There's no multiplication in the problem, so I'm going to divide. 8 divided by 2. Well, if I break 8 into 2 parts, each part's going to be 4. So this part's 4. So now I'm going to substitute. Instead of 8 divided by 2, now I've got 4. I've got 5 plus 4. So I've got the multiplication and division out of the way. Now I need to look for addition and subtraction as I read through the problem left to right. Well, this is 5 plus 4. So I've got this addition piece to do. I'm going to add 5 plus 4, and that's going to get me 9. So this expression simplifies to 9. So remember, as you're going through these, you want to look for parentheses, then exponents, and then multiplication and division as you read through the problem going left to right. And then lastly, we're going to look for addition and subtraction. So why don't you pause this video and try practice 1 now. Alright, welcome back. Well, hopefully you tried practice 1 now, and I'm going to run through the answer for you. PEMDAS is what we're going to use. So I'm going to look for parentheses. I don't see any. Exponents, I don't see any either. Now, multiplication and division as we read through the problem, going left to right, I've got 3 plus 12 divided by 4. So I've got division I need to do. So I'm going to divide 12 divided by 4. Now 12 divided by 4 is 3. And so now this becomes 3 plus 3. So I've got multiplication and division checked off. Now I need to look for addition and subtraction as I read through the problem left to right. Now if I add these, 3 plus 3, I've got to do the addition right away. So mentally over here, add 3 plus 3, that is 6. So this one's going to simplify to 6. Hopefully you got 6 as your answer. Now I'm going to scroll down and take a look at example 2 and practice 2. Again, we're going to stick with using the same stuff. We're going to use PEMDAS. So I'm going to read through this question and look for parentheses and exponents. So there are no parentheses, so we don't have to worry about that. And there are no exponents. Now I'm going to look for multiplication and division as I go through the problem from left to right. So I've got 8 minus 9 divided by 3. So I've got division right here I need to take care of. Division. So I'm going to divide 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now I'm going to rewrite my expression, simplifying it. The 9 divided by 3 became a 3. So now I've got multiplication, I've got division done. Now I just need to look for addition and subtraction as I read through the question from left to right. So I've got 8 minus 9, so I've got no addition, but I've got subtraction. So now I've got to do this subtraction piece. 8 minus 3 is 5. So this expression simplifies to 5. Now please pause the video and try practice 2 on your own. Welcome back. Now I'm going to solve practice problem 2. I'm going to use PEMDAS. I'm going to write it up here, and then I'm just going to breeze through and see. Parentheses, I don't have any. Exponents, I don't have any. Multiplication and division, as I'm going left to right, I've got 10 divided by 2. So I've got to do some division first. I'm going to take 10 and divide it by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now my expression looks like 11 minus 5. So now I've got to add and subtract as I go left to right. So I've got no addition, I've got subtraction to do. Subtract. 11 take away 5. 11 subtract 5 is 6. So this expression simplifies to 6. Now the next example is going to get a little bit more complicated. So again, I'm going to use PEMDAS. I'm going to just write it up above here and see how we do this problem as we go. So I'm looking for parentheses and I don't see any, so that's out of the way. Exponents, I don't see any of those. Now multiplication and division. So as I'm reading through the problem, I've got 3 plus 15 divided by 5 minus 7. So I've got division right here. So I've got to do this division piece first. So I'm going to divide 15 by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So now my expression would be 3 plus, instead of 15 divided by 5, that became 3 minus 7. So just bringing down the 3 plus and the negative 7, I've got the multiplication and division done. So now I need to add and subtract as I go left to right. Well, my first operation here is 3 plus 3. So I've got to add. I'm going to do the 3 plus 3. That gets me 6. So now 3 plus 3 became 6, and I've got 6 minus 7. So we're just going left to right. That's why we do the addition first, and now we're going to do the subtraction. So subtraction, over here, my notes. Subtraction, I've got 6, and I've got to subtract 7. Now I'm taking more away than I have, so this is going to end up being a negative number. Negative, and I've got 7 minus 6. To figure out how negative it's going to be, that's 1. So negative 1. This whole expression simplifies to negative 1. Now that one is a little bit more complicated. Why don't you pause the video and try practice 3 on your own. Alright, welcome back. I'm going to run through the answer on problem 3. So on problem 3, we've got to use PEMDAS. I don't have any parentheses, so I'm going to check that out. I don't have any exponents. Done with that too. Now we've got to multiply and divide as we read through the problem from left to right. So 7 minus, I've got 8 divided by 4. The first thing I need to do is divide. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So now I'm going to rewrite the expression, but instead of 8 divided by 4, I'm going to have the 2 there. So I've got 7 minus 2 plus 6. So I'm just simplifying in the answer for what I've done. So now I don't have any more multiplication or division to deal with. So now I just need to add and subtract as I go through the problem from left to right. So as I'm reading through, I've got 7 minus 2, so I've got to do the subtraction right away. Now I know it says add and subtract, but we just go from left to right. So I've got to do 7 minus 2 first, because that's what happens as I read through from left to right. 7 minus 2 is 5, so I'm going to substitute a 5 in here. I've got 5 plus 6 now. So I've got my subtraction piece done. Now I have to read through left to right. I've got 5 plus 6, so now I need to add. So 5 plus 6 is 11. So this expression simplifies to 11. I'm going to scroll down here and look at example 4 and practice 4. So again, to solve these questions, no different, we're going to be using PEMDAS. So I am going to look for parentheses, and I don't see any parentheses. So we've got that done. There are no exponents either. So now we look for multiplication and division as we read through the problem from left to right. So I've got 10 plus 20 divided by 4. So that's my first division. I got to take care of that. So division, 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5, and so this becomes 10 plus 5 plus, now I'm just substituting in and seeing what we've got now. Now I'm going to look again for multiplication and division as I go left to right. So 10 plus 5 plus 3 times 4. Now I've got multiplication I need to take care of. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 4. And 3 times 4 is 12, so now I substitute that in there. I've got 10 plus 5 plus 12. And now as I was reading through it, you notice probably we don't have any multiplication or division. We do have addition, so we're just going to add as we go from left to right. So I'm going to add. I've got 10 plus 5 that I need to add first. So 10 plus 5 is 15. So that becomes 15, and now I've got 15 plus 12. So now we're adding again, this time 15 plus 12. The numbers getting a bit big. 5 and 2 is 7, 1 plus 1 is 2, and so this expression becomes 27. Now we've taken care of all the addition and subtraction. Nice work. Now I want you to pause the video and try practice 4 on your own. Welcome back. Again, to solve these problems, we're going to stick with using PEMDAS. And so I'm going to look for parentheses. I don't have any. Exponents, I don't have any. So now multiplication and division as we read through the problem from left to right. So the first 8 minus 12 divided by 2, I've got to divide 12 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And so this becomes a 6. I've got 8 minus 6 plus 3 times 4. So now as I'm going through, I've still got multiplication and division as I go from left to right. So I've got 8 minus 3 times 4. So now I need to multiply 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. And so this becomes now 8 minus 6 plus 12. So now I've got all the multiplication and division out of there. So now I need to add and subtract as I go from left to right. So as I'm going from left to right, the first thing I need to do is 8 minus 6. So I've got to subtract 8 minus 6. 8 minus 6. Well, since 8 is larger, this one's going to end up being positive. If I take 6 away from 8, I have 2 left over. So this becomes 2 plus 12. Now my last operation is this addition, and so that's what I'll do next. Add 2 plus 12. 2 plus 12 is 14, and so this whole expression becomes 14. Well, that concludes our lesson on order of operations with add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Thank you for your time.